Trump just talked about Ukraine during the debate, and let's break it down because, according to him, if you elect him this November, he'll make sure that there is peace in Ukraine and Russia before he takes office. That's right, he says he'll end the war before he takes office if elected. And let's talk about that and his other comments.
I will have that war settled between Putin and Zelensky as president-elect before I take office on January 20th.
You're probably asking yourself, how would you do that, Trump? And so far, he said that multiple times and still has no plan whatsoever. Keep in mind, this comes from the same guy that has told other NATO members that if you don't pay your 2%, we'll let Russia do whatever they want with you.
Yep. As far as Russia and Ukraine, if we had a real president, the president that was respected by Putin, he would have never invaded.
And that is a lie. Why? Because it turns out Putin was actually going to do this in 2020, but something got in his way. A pandemic. That's right. COVID-19 stopped Russia from invading Ukraine in 2020. Believe it or not.
He's given $200 billion. That's a lot of money. I don't think there's ever been anything like it. Every time that Zelensky comes to this country, he walks away with $60 billion.
Let's go ahead and get one thing straight. That money, there was no physical check given to Zelensky or Ukraine. That money stayed here or went to the EU or NATO to produce weapons for Ukraine. That means the money stayed here, went to Americans, American jobs, American industries. They built up the military infrastructure, and they're building even more buildings to manufacture more weapons. On the other end, Ukraine was getting weapons that were ready to expire. So it was going to cost the US a lot of money to get rid of this stuff, and so it was easier to just give it to Ukraine and then charge them the full price. That is called a drawdown, and guess what? Ukraine's got a decent amount of this drawdown, saving the US economy a decent amount of money. On top of that, Ukraine had gotten other weapons that in turn allowed the United States to make more money. Why? Because, for example, let's talk about F-16s. Ukraine needs F-16s and they're getting F-16s, but other countries said, we'll give Ukraine F-16s, but now we need fighter jets. So they come to the United States and they buy new fighter jets. While the US may have given over $175 billion, the United States, they're making way more than that on this war. And if I'm the first one to tell you this, I hate to say it, but every single war, the United States finds a way to make money. And the biggest thing that I think that Trump really doesn't understand is the fact that we have been able to destroy half of the Russian military without stepping a single foot in Ukraine. To me, it's been a win-win for the United States. We dismantled our biggest enemy. Well, maybe not China, but we are doing it for Russia. We're making money and we're helping out other countries. Win, win, and win. And here's the deal. If Trump truly had a plan to stop what's going on, he would have done it by now. He would have said, you know what, I'm going to be the leader and do it, because if he did it, he would look like the good guy. But he has got nothing going on. He doesn't know what to do. And the only connection he has is to Putin, and Putin already made his demands, and he was actually asked if he would accept those demands from Putin, and he said no. So Trump's comments on Ukraine can get worse, and they did during the debate. Let's watch.
Because Ukraine's not winning that war. He said, I will never settle until such time. They're running out of people. They're running out of soldiers. They've lost so many people. It's so sad. They've lost so many people, and they've lost those gorgeous cities with the golden domes that are 1,000 years old, all because of him and stupid decisions. Russia would have never attacked.
So with those comments, we can all assume that if Trump does get elected and he's going to get this war done with before he takes office, he's going to do it in a way where Ukraine is not winning, meaning that he's going to allow Russia to win, which essentially is saying that, yes, they're going to let Russia have their way with Ukraine. And then he turns around and is continuing to blame the war on Biden, which doesn't make any sense, since it's not like you can wake up today and decide I'm going to do a war. This is something that was well into planning, even all the way back to 2018. Because remember, Putin was going to do this in 2020, but he couldn't because of the pandemic. Let me know what you think about his comments in the comment section below, and be sure to follow me for more.